My name is Jamie Tyrrell, and I'm very excited. And I think you will be too. Listen to my story, would you? A couple of years ago, I invited a fellow named Dick Matthews to come to the church I was serving in Atlanta, New York. He was a retired Baptist missionary that wouldn't retire. He just spent 8 years in Cambodia. And you see, I had these retired folks that were kind of knocking around from one hospital visit to a doctor's visit and feeling kind of at loose ends. Like maybe their life wasn't counting for much. Dick is a living example of what it means to be a fully engaged Christian who's also an older person. When Bessie and I retired from the Atlanta church, Dick called us up and said, there's no reason why you can't come to Cambodia with me on my next trip. And we couldn't think of a single one. One of the things about Dick, and being with Dick was not exactly what we expected, is that he has an MBA from RIT and has started businesses all over the third world. He served in South America, in Africa, in Taiwan, and in Cambodia, and briefly elsewhere. And he would tell you, if he were standing here, that in every one of those countries, the opportunities, economic opportunities that do exist, are pretty much reserved for the relatives of government officials or foreign investors. So if you're a native of that country, you're a subsistence farmer or cheap labor for somebody that feels foreign to you. And that's true in Cambodia. You're a rice farmer or you're cheap labor for China. Now, because the church in the third world is mostly indigenous, it's no longer anything that comes out of anybody's colonial presence, because there is none. And this is very, very true in Cambodia, because pastors are working with people who are in the pre-cash agricultural society or working in a subsistence wage in a foreign factory. Nobody has any money. So if a pastor is successful in drawing a congregation large enough to require his time, significant time and energy, guess what? He has to start his own business if he's going to feed himself and his family. So Dick helps pastors start businesses. He also helps lay people start businesses. Actually, he will help almost anyone start a business if they ask. Now, Dick does more with his microfinancing background than help pastors eat while they preach. From time to time, he'll meet a couple who he thinks are capable of building a significant employer. Now, significant in the third world could be as few as 5 or 6 people. It could be many as several hundred. One of the largest exporters of jams, jellies, and tropical juices in Africa was one of his startup businesses. He saw a man of talent in Taiwan who's now become one of the largest detergent manufacturers on the island. He thinks that Durn Sita and Sri Nit have what it takes to become an employer. Now, he thinks this because, Sri Nit already operates one of the most successful English language preschools in the capital. She administers a faculty and a support staff of about 20 people. So, in fact, she's already running a small manufacturing, what could be a small manufacturing company. She can do it. She's doing it. And Durn Sita, he's a trainer for pastors of house churches, who want to grow a church. He works with over 1,000 people all over the country. And the way this works out, you see, is if they are successful and they need to start a business, Dick Matthews is there to help them do it. It's a very great symbiotic relationship. And now Dick has looked at Durin and at Shreynit and said, Durin Seaton Shreynit, and said, you can have a company of your own and make a real difference in the life of other people. And so they're giving it a try. The core people for this company are Shreynit's sister and brother-in-law. They've trained 14 people to work with them when they have the need. They have the sewing machines, they have the space, everything's all set up. And they're beginning to develop orders. There are already 2 people besides myself working with them, and they will sell probably 1,500 t-shirts this year. I hope to make that an even 2,000. And as all 3 of us look around, we hope to get them up to their first target, which is 6,000 t-shirts within 2 years. Because at that level, you see, they will employ 5 people in a safe environment. And they intend to hire, and the people they've trained are all either young women who are at risk for the sex industry or handicapped people. You see, because of the poverty in the country, 1 in 40 young girls are sold to a human trafficker. 1 out of 7 women at some point in their life become involved in the sex industry to support themselves or their family. Handicapped people generally live on the street and die at about age 35 for completely avoidable diseases. Each one of these fairly traded good companies are just so important. Just so important. And for that reason, I'm excited, and I'm taking my own time. I'm a volunteer, and I'm absorbing the expense of sales. Travel always costs money. Because I think that Dick's right. These people can do it. And if we can get them there by the end of next year, that's up to 6,000 sales, then they'll register with the government and have the potential to create a larger employer. I have on one of their t-shirts. When they were learning how to make these, they call themselves Crave Clothes, and that's the label you'll see in the back of the shirts on the table today. But they renamed their company Epic Apparel, because Epic, you see, Epic stands in their mind for their vision, empowering people in Cambodia. So what do you say, guys? Will you go out to the tables and take a look at these? I think you'll like one. Throw $8 in the box. Open a door for somebody's future. Help these people who are trying to do the right thing get to their next point of decision. And I pray that that decision is to grow a significant business. But hey, you have nothing to lose. You'll get a great shirt. And when I wear one of these, I smile because I know I'm wearing my sense of mission. And I bet you will too. And take that shirt home and show it to the people in your church or community organizations you're a part of who buy t-shirts for youth groups or a company picnic. You can help us get there, if you will. If you'd like my wife and I to come to your church and tell the epic story, we will. And I'm more than happy to talk to anybody that has a potential to order these things, these shirts. So guys, I'm excited. And I hope you are too. Because even here in upstate New York, because of the wonder of what we call the church, you can help a person build a better life than they can on their own by simply buying something you want anyhow and wearing it with a smile. Man, this story is epic. So together, you see, we can empower people in Cambodia. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your sense of mission and your hunger to do the right thing in the world.